all Americans have equal rights. But because of the process and the fight to be seen as an American, we have developed a way of identifying people properly. But at what point does PC become EU? Today, I want to take a look at some of the new identifiers that some people are insisting is a fresh new way of dealing with sexual orientation on the next Torrid Intentions. Hello and welcome to Torrid Intentions, the place where the freak is never frozen from concentrate and always pulp-free. I am your host, Austin Fox. Today, I want to talk about gender identification and how it directly affects sexual orientation. I have always prided myself on being able to understand both sides of every argument, if the reasoning was explained to me intelligently. So with my eyeballs rolling and sighing heavily under my breath, I thought I would do a little digging and see just how far the new identifiers go. To understand the spectrum, we have to go back to the basics. When a child is born, they have automatically given to them the letter M or F under sex, meaning male or female. And as that child grows and begins to take in their surroundings, they start to develop a sense of self and identity. Around the age of puberty, the child starts to develop a wide range of emotions and thoughts, constantly falling in love with a different person every week. Along with these emotions comes questions as to is it right or normal for a child to have romantic thoughts of another child of the same sex. A lot of times, the child will not seek the advice of any adult because, let's face it, we were hatched this big and we know absolutely nothing. So they turn to the advice of their friends, the TV, and now the internet, which is where the new identifiers were born. Now, sex referring to the biological distinction between male and female, gender identification meaning which gender the individual sees themselves as, usually dubbed or claiming to be born in the wrong body. The original list was homo, hetero, and bisexual, but now being added to this hodgepodge is asexual, pansexual, and polysexual. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Asexual is a person who lacks any sexual attraction to or from anyone. Pansexual is a person who is attracted to everyone, a vision of genderless people. The idea being you love your partner for themselves. And then polysexual is the attraction to multi-genders. Now this is where I find objection. Going back to homosexuals and heterosexuals. Homosexuals are individuals who are attracted to people of the same gender. Hetero is the attraction to a person of the opposite sex. And then there's the ever-greedy bisexual. They feel that they don't need to pick a hole, and therefore sleeps with both genders, claiming equal love. Doesn't that sound a whole hell of a lot like pan and polysexual? No matter what you call it or how you label it, an attraction to multis or all is still an attraction to both. So why the need to create a redundance in a already confusing time? And I don't care what these pansexuals claim. There is no such thing as a lack of sexual desire or attraction. I call bullshit on that one. If you have a pulse and you are breathing, you have either been or soon to be attracted to someone. Now, on my studying, I came across something very interesting, something that answered about 20 years of questions. Me personally, I am attracted to masculine women and feminine men. Why? Fuck if I know. But I do know that there are identifiers for this as well. Androphilia and gynophilia. Androphiliacs are attracted to the overall act of masculinity, and gynophiliacs are attracted to the overall act of femininity. And all this time, I thought I was different. Nope. There are millions who have the same identifiers as I do. There are a lot of resources at your fingertips for anyone who has questions or thoughts pertaining to anything different. Books are a great place to start, but let's face it, they're not always up to date. If you want up-to-date information, you can always turn to the internet. The downside of that is most adults probably won't know where to start looking. Still confused? Not a problem. Ask a 14-year-old boy which website has the kinkiest fetish material, groups, personals ads, and people. Chances are he'll say FetLife or kink.com. Very interesting study material. And I promise, Mom, I only read the articles while I was on those sites. Now, this week's podcast was brought to you by KY Intense. It makes the big moment feel even bigger. KY Intense by Johnson & Johnson. Well, that's going to be it for me this week. If you want to add to the topic or ask something in private, then please feel free to email me at torridintentions@gmail.com. So until next week, whatever your intentions, make sure it's a torrid intention.